Hello everybody, welcome back to day 4. Hello loves. So it is day 4 of the 12 days of Christmas. We're flying by. But today is the 4 calling birds. Now I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what that meant. Turns out the 4 calling birds is 4 birds calling. Like, not like on a cell phone, but like their song. They're singing. I will like talk about it and stuff, so little informational thing. But turns out that they're like blackbirds. I thought they'd be like these really colorful birds, but they're blackbirds. So I'm gonna put some so I'm kind of excited to do today's look. I have like an idea of what I want to do. I think it's gonna take forever. I mean, these looks have been taking like 12 plus hours to do. What eye look we're gonna do. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So we've done the partridge in a pear tree, we've done 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, and now it is time for the 4 calling birds. So in the song it is, "My true love gave to me 4 calling birds." It is said that that represents the 4 Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now these men were said to identify as the 4 pillars of the church, the 4 authors of the true Gospels. Now again, this is not my religion that I practice, so this is just information that I have researched and learned, so hopefully this is correct, but if not, please do educate me. But now let's talk a little bit about the birds and the meaning of the birds. So it is said that the collie represents a blackbird. It is the bird and their sounds, their songs. Now, originally, back in England, during the time of the song, in the beginning time, collie was the name given to blackbirds for their songs. And it is said that the original lyrics was, "My true love gave to me 4 collie birds." And over time, it has changed to 4 calling birds. Now, that is why when people say, "Oh, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds," it is because they're calling out their song, they're giving them 4 singing birds, and I just think that is beautiful. I find it very interesting personally to hear when lyrics have been changed over time and what their supposed meanings are and what the original lyrics were. So if you know any information about that, please do let me know. But I find it very interesting that it went from collie birds, which does mean the blackbirds and their songs, to calling birds, which again is the same thing. The birds are calling, they're singing. And I find it very interesting that it's blackbirds. That's not something that I would have guessed, but I love it. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about this makeup look. So what I am doing here is I wanted the 4 blackbirds to be in their tree. And I mean, that's where you would normally see the birds, is in their tree, and I wanted them to be singing. So I found this beautiful picture on Pinterest of some birds singing, and then I found the tree, and I just started piecing it all together. Again, I will have what I can linked down below, but I'll show you the pictures like I did in the beginning. So what I did is I started off by piecing together the tree like I explained at the beginning. And now I'm just adding some highlights and shadows with different shades of brown. Right now I'm using the light brown and I'm just going through all the branches, and wherever I feel like a little bit of sunlight would hit or any sort of light would hit is where I'm adding the light brown. But also trees have multiple different shades in them. They're not just one shade of brown. They got light brown, they got auburn, they got all kinds of browns. So that's why I'm just adding multiple little details trying to bring. Well, I'm cutting in all close and personal to tell you that I'm running out of space. So I'm going to be right back and switch over the SD card, charge up my camera, and do a little more detailing on the trees, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Trying to bring the tree to life. So now that the SD card is all switched over and we're all good to go, I also just noticed that my backdrop is slightly over. Well, that's gonna bother me. Well then. So we're continuing with just adding the lights and all that stuff, but now what I'm going to do is fill in where I want the bird. So I'm taking the Weight Aqua Liner and drawing the shape of the bird, and then I'll fill it in black. But I find that birds are not my strong suit, so just taking the time of small lines. So like I started at the top of the head of where I wanted the very top of his head to be, and did a little half shape, half moon, half, I don't know shapes. But I just started slowly drawing out the shape. When I looked at the bird, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do the head first, and then we're going to draw the line for the body, and then draw the line for the tail. And yeah, I really don't know how to explain this. But once I was happy with the shape of the birds, I would fill it in all black and then do the detailing of the weight so to make it look like the feathers and all of that. And I actually think that it turned out a lot better than I expected. I was really happy with it. The black that I used is from the Mehron Single Pot palette. It's just the black. And for some reason, I didn't show you any of the products that I used in this video. I don't know what I was thinking, but clearly I wasn't. And I just didn't show you. So I'll try and insert some like pictures so that you can see what I'm doing here. So drawing the feathers was very difficult. I was looking at the picture, and it was like a picture of a painting of the bird. It wasn't like actually a bird that I was looking at. So that made it a little bit easier to try and recreate that photo per se. But what I did is I started in where like the neck will be, or kind of like the top of the wing, the neck, and just started drawing out the lines going down, because with his feathers, it started like small feather at the top and then slowly went down on an angle to bigger feathers, if that makes sense, to make it look like his wings were closed. And then I started working on smaller strokes on the body for like the stomach feathers, and then the neck feathers, again, were just small little strokes. They weren't loops or circles or anything, they were just little strokes, if that makes sense. Again, I'm terrible at explaining things. I'm sorry. So, like I said, I decided I didn't want it to be a white background. Before, I was like, oh, I'm gonna, have it be completely snowy, like a snowstorm, but I decided I didn't like that, so I just used a little bit of blue eyeshadow from the Norvina palette. I used B4, and I really like how this turned out. Just with like the sky in the back, I think it looks so much better than having that snow. I did add like snowfall, like you'll see at the end that I did add some like little snowflakes and such, but I like it so much better with the blue. I feel like that just really brought it to life. And I was going to use blue face paint, but I really didn't think that it would mesh well because I don't have blue cream paint, and that's what I used to do the weight, and I didn't want to put creams with water activated because they just won't mesh well, so that's why I used the eyeshadow, because it stuck really well to the white cream paint. So now I'm adding the details of the eyes. They kind of have like a little bit of like a reddy orange eye, so what I did is I took my red and orange aqua liner and started off with a red base of where I want the eyes to be, and just drew like a little pointed oval little almond shape, and then I went around the red with the orange, filled it in with the black, and then with the white little dot for the pupil, and did the eyes. And then I filled in the beaks red with a little bit of black detail. I filled them in orange, not red. That is definitely orange. Alrighty, so now we're moving on to the face. So if you're wondering what I did with my hair, because it looks wild right now, I had to do a hair treatment and a scalp treatment because I had something going on with my scalp, and I just did not want what was on my hair to touch the wig, and I wanted to use a wig for this. So what I did is I put a wig cap and then a wig cap on top of the wig cap, so I had two barriers. Yeah, I could have just done one wig cap, but what I had on my scalp, I really didn't want to get on this wig because I hate washing wigs, and I would have had to, and it was just this whole ordeal, so I just wanted to remain as cautious as possible, so I used 2 wig caps, and it looks like I have a giant forehead here, and it was just, yeah, it was definitely a time and a half doing this. So now let's just get back to the face. So we're using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation stick and just blending that all over the face. I love how the eyes came out. We did like a little halo eye. We are now doing a little bit of concealer. This shade of concealer was a little bit too dark for what the foundation was, but that's fine. We gotta use up what we have before we can get some more stuff. I love this foundation. I haven't used it in a while, but it was like, I love it. And then of course the bronzer, the blush, you know guys, you know the drill. I'm just gonna jab my jaws. And I love the Kylie cosmetic products. They're so expensive, but I love them. I love the color. And here we're adding the snow, finally. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of my white aqua liner and a dotting tool usually used for nails, and just adding a little bit of snow everywhere to make it all come together. And look at this, I love how it came out. The lipstick was the Rudolph X Colourpop collab, and I don't know what I used for lashes. I think they were like something from an Amazon bulk, not quite sure. But here's the final look. I really hope you like it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's very chaotic, I'm so sorry, but I love how it turned out. I'm so excited for tomorrow, which is day 5. But as always, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel and join the family. Ring that bell to never miss another of my videos. All my socials will be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.